Hey guys, hope you're all well. So, a little bit more on Dan's bobber. I've been busy through the week. It's now Friday, I think. So yeah, I've been busy. As you probably know, I've got two other Enfields sort of going on in the background that I've been sort of organising things on, and I've had to do a frame that's being picked up on Sunday and oil tank, as you can see there. So yeah, trying to keep several things all going, but it's going all right. Anyway, so today I think I'm going to get the tank mounting brackets done. I've got that sitting about where I want it. I've propped it all up. So I'm going to remove the fuel lines and the carburetor so we don't damage that. Get the mounts done. They'll be just simple brackets, to be fair, because as you know, this is the earlier tank. So we've got a completely different way of mounting this compared to the later tank, which went to the mounting points here and on the back under the frame. So that mounting point's gone, although I've got to put some back in its place to take the brace on the top of the cylinder head. And then if we have time, we will complete the fixing of the rear mudguard, and then we are dropping onto the speedo bracket. So we'll just get on with it and see how far we get. So at the minute, obviously the tank's all free, so it keeps trying to slide back when it should be somewhere up there. So the brackets will all be hidden underneath, and I'm just going to keep them quite simple. There's no point in getting fancy on them when they can't be seen. At least it'll stop this tank moving around while I'm working on the rest of the bike. So I think the carb's just held on by one loose nut at the minute. Should have pulled the bike out, shouldn't I? And there we go. Gasket as well. Right, she's a bit dusty and I've got my foot stuck. There we are. No, stop. Right, let's get a bit of something to bung it all up. It's a 350. She has a very small hole. There we go. Right then, now we can see where we're going. Going to be quite straightforward at the back. Yeah, so we've got the mounting points here, so it'll be just a nice simple bit of plate off them too, both sides. And this side we've got the mounting points here, so we're going to have to fold a piece across and right up into the frame up there. So a bit fiddly, but we'll get there. Right, to start with, I'm going for the back ones first, the ones nearest the seat. So I've cut these little brackets and drilled them slightly longer than what I need them. And these, when I do build the bike, I'll put some rubber washers on the face of these, just so the tank's got a bit of a cushion between the brackets. So put these on first. You'll notice I have drilled them off centre to match the holes that are off centre on the brackets on the tank. So I think what I'll do think the most important thing is we get it central to the tunnel part there. I know the tube that it's going to sit on is 1.5 inches, so we'll mark it all up central and mark it and cut that 1.5 inch gap out, and that should drop on that part of the frame. I can see that standing proud, that one. Probably a lump of weld. Yeah, right lump of weld. Let's check under that one. I'll dress that off. That bolt's slightly long, so it's hitting the surface under the bracket. I think a washer. Obviously it's going to have a washer, then a rubber washer between the two surfaces, so I don't want to cut the bolt down and make it too short. And I can't build it with the rubber washers on, because when I weld it, I'll melt them. Obviously one side of the tank's different to the other. Yeah, it is. Can you see that? Differences in height in the bracket. There's nothing we can really do about that. But it's under the tank, it won't be seen. Right, what I've decided to do here, I've cut a piece the same thickness as the frame tube, 1.5 inches. So I'm going to line it up by eye in the tunnel, in the hopes that that'll sit centre, because I can't trust too much on the tank that everything's where it should be. So the most important thing is to have it looking like it's sitting centre on the frame tube. So I think this is going to be the best way, if you know what I mean. Sort of eye it up, a couple of measurements. It's sat in the middle of the tunnel there at that point, hoping it'll look all right when it's all flipped over and sat on the frame. Okay, that's the tank just resting on. I think it's worked out. If I can squeeze the camera under there, you see the brackets here. When I bring the tank up to where I want it sitting, proper slides into that tube nice. You can hear that. And when I look at it at the top, it's looking pretty damn central. So I think I'll get them tacked on, and then we'll work on the front. That is going to be a bit more tricky. Okay, that's the back ones in place. I'm quite happy with that, although they are like that. Absolutely nothing I could do about it without major surgery to the tank, and we don't want to do that. As I said, you can't see the brackets really, so I'm good with that. Now for the front ones. These are a little bit more tricky. I've got the tank sitting about where I want it. Again, we'll make a few measurements so we make sure it's sitting central. We've got plenty of play in the holes in the back ones anyway, and I'll also do that in the front ones. I'm thinking I'm not going to go all the way up to the frame. It's, as you can see, it's hell of a journey right up to there. Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do is try and make the best measurements I can with the very little space I've got under here, and bring them brackets forward to the frame gusset. It's going to make them a lot shorter, giving them a lot less chance to sort of move and bend over the years. You know, you gotta allow for all that. People, when you're chatting, you know, you lean on your tank and stuff like that. It can all happen. So if I make the brackets as short as possible, I think they're going to be a lot stronger, and you won't really see where they're going onto this frame gusset anyway, so they'll still be hidden. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best way. It's just what we're going to come up with. Something fairly simple, I reckon. Anyway, I'll do some measuring, and we'll see how that goes. Right, I'm going to attempt, hopefully, is use this bit of card and try and get the angle of the bracket, which is obviously sort of flat, parallel with the top of the engine there, and the angle of the gusset of the frame. And then I think with a bit of measuring, we should get somewhere close to what we want. So I'm going to hold that up to the base of the tank and use a very handy dirty thumb to then go over there. No, I can't get my thumb in, so we'll use a dirty finger. To mark that run. You probably can't, it probably just looks like a dirty smudge, but I can see a line on it. There you go, you can see it better there. So I know that and that is sort of the angle we've got to get near with the bracket. Yeah. Very basic, I know, but I think it'll work. Let's give it a go. Right, we'll draw that line in while I've got it, while I can see it. And we'll take the tank off, measure the gaps and thicknesses of everything, and I think we'll get somewhere near. Fingers crossed. Oh, I've had a little bit of a mind change. There's the thing. I'm going to try and actually do a little mock-up with the cardboard. Maybe it'll work. Come on, be right. We just need to come a bit further over. I keep forgetting the camera's pointing upwards. We're going in the right direction, but the hole under the tank is falling about there. So if we cut another bit of cardboard out like so, and bring it out here, I think that'll work. So that can go down to about there, then like there, and there, then an extra bit, and then I think we'll be okay. Cardboard template number 2. I think we've cracked it. So yeah, that's gonna come off the gusset of the frame tube and just disappear nicely under the tank, and I'll bolt up. So I think now that's good enough to making metal. Let's do that. Right, there's the first one. I'm literally just gonna draw around that and make bracket number 2, and then obviously they'll both fold opposite ways. Yep, that's warm. Right, what I'll do then is hold them both together and just trim them up so they're exactly the same. We'll let that cool off for a minute. That's a real poor excuse for a nice cup of tea. Right, I've just had to hit reverse because I've just recorded several minutes without the sound on. Oh, the joys of being stupid. It's brilliant. Not. Right. I folded one bracket and filmed it with no sound, but there we go. So anyway, wherever I was, the brackets are cut. So what I've got to do, that one now folded, is get these laid out to the same distance as the frame gussets. Let's have a look. Which is 35mm. So we've got these two runs here. So where they're coming up from under the tank and up, we have got to get at that distance. So what I'm going to do is, oh well, I'll rephrase that. What I've started to do is fold them and then somehow we've got to get the right place for the holes. I think to make this front bracket a bit easier, I'm going to slot the holes. So I'll get these about right with a bit of guesswork. So when that one's folded and goes on, we've got that 35mm gap between them, and then we can go and plonk it back on the frame and tack it on. So let's fold that one. Okay, trying to make this as easy as possible. So to the outside of them two gussets we got around 36. So I've clamped them between 30mm of steel. These being 3mm, so yeah, the outside should be around 36. So obviously they'll sit in there like so. So I've marked them to where they are going to be on the bike, thereabouts. So I think now if I do them hole centres, transfer that measurement to here, we should be getting sort of right, hopefully. So I'm going to go away and do that, drill the holes in them, bolt it to the tank and go and try it on the bike. Right, we've got these drilled out. I've had to take the seams down on the tank, which I've welded, but I've got to go over them again. I've took the seams down because it was throwing the brackets completely off. Again, we're dealing pretty much like we was at the back, differences in each side of the tank. So I'm just trying to make it the best, because obviously we're mating it up to a very straight frame. So hopefully it'll work out. If my clumsy hands can even put a bolt in. There we go. So when these get bolted down, hopefully we'll still have that 30mm gap between them returns. Then in theory, it should fit the frame. There we go. So with a bit of luck, fingers crossed, this should go together. I'll say the tank is throwing them out a bit still. I'm hoping we've got enough playing things to make it work. There's only one way to find out. We'll try it on. So we'll have to take these off because it won't go past the actual frame tube. Drop the tank on, bolt it in at the back, then put the brackets on and see how they're mating up with that gusset on the frame. Make sure me rubber's on. That's me temporary distance piece. There we go. And other side. Right, here we go. Fingers crossed. That's for the other side. That's for this side. Just put them on loose for now. Right. How's that looking? Took a bit of messing about, that has, but I am happy with that. That's good. See if you can see under there. Hold on, let's lower the light. Yeah, as you can see over in the corner there, it all meets up to the frame nicely. Yeah, that's worked out quite well. It has. And obviously, you can't see them. Right, I've managed to get a couple of tacks on each side. I'll take the tank off now. I've took the bolts out the other side. I'll take the tank off. You see how close we got it. I say the two sides of the tank are different, which is throwing things out. That was the most difficult part. But any gaps we will weld up. Let's put that out of the way a minute. So that ain't done bad at all, really, considering how wonky the tank is. So yeah, we have got a gap on this one that is pretty damn easy to weld up. Just stream straight down there, that gap will be gone. This is the differences in each side of the tank that's created that. But obviously we've made the brackets the same, folded them the same, and drilled them the same. This side, let's go and have a look, was a lot better. That angle went absolutely spot on. Considering the messing about that we had to do, that has come out pretty damn good. And then brackets will be really strong, they ain't going nowhere. I'll say, little gap there, I'm not complaining about that at all. One stream of weld, that's gone. Yeah, I think I'll pop the tank back on for now and leave it on the bike. So there we go. I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. It was, as you can probably guess, it's quite a fiddly job, because getting under there to make accurate measurements with the tank in place is close to impossible. So there is a bit of guesswork involved. I think the cardboard template got us somewhere near good enough anyway. Then you got the differences with the tank and everything, so I think that's turned out pretty well. Not the most interesting jobs, but it's another job that had to be done. I think I'm going to call it that for this video. I know I said I was going to try and get onto other things, but if I try and cram all this into one video, it's going to give me an editing nightmare. So I'm going to call it at that for this video. It's only, I don't know why I look at my wrist when I think about the time. I never ever wear a watch. Why do we do that? It's a mystery. Anyway, I am going to carry on with the back mud guard. It's only sort of 3:30, so, but I will film it, so that'll come after this video, I guess. Anyway, it's another bit done, another bit closer to finish. That'll do. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.